What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Photographer Diaries. So this is something that we... Yeah, I'll just wait for Carla to get her shit together.
Okay, I'm good.
So this is something that we wanted to put together from the beginning of the channel, but we jumped right into it and we started making content for you guys. So we have some questions and we're going to answer them. And we're also going to just kind of throw out some random facts, I guess, about ourselves.
I guess so.
So we'll start with a question.
All right, so what's the first question?
You gotta ask us a question.
She's eating.
Question answer. Ask for her.
She's eating. Sorry.
Ladies first. What camera do you use?
You're terrible. Currently, I shoot with the Canon 5D Mark III. In the future, I am changing it, but I'll leave that in the air and not tell you guys what I'm using. Some of you already know, some of you don't. David, what do you shoot with?
So I actually shoot on Sony systems. So right now I'm shooting with a Sony a7R II. As a backup camera, I have an a7 II. Yeah, I've been shooting with Sony for the last 2 years, and I don't plan on switching.
Do you prefer photo or video?
You can go first on this one.
I actually have been doing a lot more video content lately, and then also just being YouTubers in general. We're kind of driven to do a little more video. So I actually do like the process of video, like editing, but I also like to be able to create imagery and create images. So that's a tough question, but I think in the long run, I'd say I'd go with on the video side.
As far as me, excuse me, let me start over.
As far as me,
I know, right? So when I prefer photo, just because I like the history side of it. So I shoot film, so I'm more, I guess, involved in photo. Film, I'm learning it. I do respect all the filmmakers because that's hella hard, so more power to you guys, because that is something I'm learning and it's very interesting. It is something that I'm appreciative, but I'm definitely on the photo side of all this.
How long have you been doing photography?
oh, my head comes real quick.
You put that close up.
Oh, I'm looking at you.
What was your question? Can you repeat the question?
How long have you been doing photography and film?
2008, as far as me. So what's that? 12 years?
Damn, that's almost about the same as me almost.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So I started I picked up my first digital camera in 2007. And I shot it for a couple years, and then I stopped for a very long time, and then picked it back up probably about 4 years ago, and I've been consistent since. But yeah, I think I would say I started about 12 years ago.
What would be a dream come true for both of you?
I did the last question first, so your turn.
What would be a dream come true? I think just being overall successful as a creator would be a dream come true. And making this something that I could potentially do for the rest of my life.
So a dream come true for me would be to be a fine art photographer. It's like a mess of things. Like I have this idea, but I don't know how to explain it. I want to shoot everything in film, and I want to do it high fashion, and I want to do it for people to feel like normal people. Thank you. For normal people to feel like they can look like the people in front of magazines. So the idea, I guess, in the long run is I want to make people feel good about themselves, if that makes any sense, and make them feel that they can wear whatever they want or, you know, look like these people in the magazine. So
That's awesome. don't care about people. Just kidding.
Okay.
What motivates you to do this every day, to keep going?
For me, it's my daughter Mila. She really pushes me to try to be successful, and I want her to look up to someone that, you know, show her that she can do whatever she wants. I didn't get that support growing up, so it kind of sucked for me as far as like my family. But I want her to be different, and I want to show her that she can do whatever she wants in life. So that's what motivates me.
For me, I would say that it would be definitely my family as well, but I would think more so as a broader spectrum as far as the future. You know, just being successful in this, and as a my main thing is a wedding filmmaker and photographer. So being successful in that will bring me, I think, the financial security that I need to be able to support my family in the long run with like the things that we want to do with our life. So I think that is like a huge motivation. So.
Hard question, huh? I was like, you got a rough time answering that.
I didn't know how to word it like different. Like, my family.
What is a typical editing process?
What is our typical editing process? So it kind of depends on what we're talking about as far as YouTube or other creation, but or for like photo, for instance. I mean, the workflow is a lot different, but let's just talk about YouTube in general. At least I will talk about that for my editing process for these videos. Like Carly can talk about her editing process for maybe her photography. And so for YouTube, obviously, the editing process or the whole workflow is, you know, you set up your lights, you set up, you know, anything else, and then you record multiple takes, and then you dump the footage, or you basically upload the footage to your computer. I like to categorize everything into folders. I use Final Cut Pro. I drop that into Final Cut, and then I kind of just skim through the footage from there. I edit, make transitions, all that stuff. I do my titles all at the end, and then I export and upload. So it's a long process. I mean, to be honest with you, a simple YouTube video could take multiple hours. So it's a work of love.
Yeah, that's intense.
Now for you.
You want to hear mine? It's really short. So
she's like, I don't even edit.
I try not to. Honestly, that's my goal.
I just upload.
That's my
good.
goal. Honestly,
that's good. It's all about getting it right first.
Well, that's where I was taught. Like, I was taught in school by my professor that if you do 90% of the work in camera, then that's less time editing, more time with your family.
Yeah.
So in my head, that's what I do. And honestly, the last shoot that we did with Zane, I want to say that correctly. It took me 20 minutes to edit them. It was like that quick because I only had to retouch 2 rocks and like one thing on her skin. That's it. Like, so it wasn't that long as far as my editing process. When I do fine art stuff, that gets difficult because that's a whole different thing that I do, and it involves layers, and yeah, so that's just a whole hour's worth of editing. But
yeah, for me, when it comes to like photos, I kind of have a, I guess, unique or typical, like a different style when it comes to editing. Now I'm frogging it.
I bet.
So I have a different, kind of editing style. I only stick to I only stick to Lightroom for the most part, unless I have to remove something from an image that I can't remove in Lightroom, or I have to do some sort of skin retouching or something like that, or maybe there's masks that I need to put in that I can't do in Lightroom. But I try to do all my edits mostly inside of Lightroom. If I'm just doing 1 or 2 photos, camera raw, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
How did you two become a team?
A team?
Like, how did you guys decide to start the photography?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good
I'm
question.
full of good questions. Go.
Get it, girl.
How did we become the Photographer Diaries? So I had a channel of my own on YouTube, and I was mostly doing kind of like vlogs and behind the scenes and stuff like that. And then between basically that and then my personal work and then client work, it just got hard to manage by myself. Also, a lot of it came from like just not being motivated by myself and not having somebody to push me. So we're actually part of a group with like a bunch of local photographers and creators and stuff. And I actually just posted something and said, hey, like I need a partner who wants to do it. And Carla was the first one to be like, I do. So yeah, we teamed up, and it's been going good so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, wait.
We're in our team.
We're a team. All right, let's.
What was the question?
Two more questions.
You were finishing up.
Oh yeah,
how you guys became a team.
Yeah, how we became a team.
Okay, so yeah, the reason like I decided to join the team or make this team, I guess, was because I had the same reasons. I had a small YouTube channel that I started, and it was just hard to do on my own because it is hard to motivate yourself to do stuff like this. But if you like push each other, like we've been doing, like honestly, like this video. No, I'm kidding. It's just you bounce ideas off each other, and it works, you know, to create something for every week. So it's pretty cool.
How would you describe your personal style in photography and or film?
You want to go first on that one?
You can.
You got it. You got it.
I guess. So my personal style, I like things clean and I'm very detailed, I guess. I don't know how to explain that.
Adjectives are hard. Huh?
Yeah. I focus on like the little things that I probably shouldn't, but I'm a perfectionist, let's just say that, when it comes to my work, and that's the style that I am right now, which is kind of lame, but I want to switch it to fine art. So it's in between that right now. So it's like perfecting things and making it fine art is the ultimate style that I'm doing, and it's working so far. Hopefully, right, guys? So, but yeah, that's how I would describe my style.
For me, I think it's a little tough. I think it's very hard to create and define your style as a photographer. And I've always been the kind of person where I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a category. So I do a lot of kind of everything. But I've really been into studio portraits lately. You know, it's really been something that I liked the most. But, you know, as far as like doing weddings and doing photography and video for weddings, I like to take a very filmic approach and kind of edit them to where they look like film and replicate like film tones. Yeah.
What's the process you both have for choosing your models?
Oh.
That is, oh, that one's tough. Honestly, I think that we just kind of go with who's available. Like, to be honest with you, I mean,
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it really depends. Like, you know, we'll reach out to some people, and there might be specific people that we have in mind for the most part. But it also depends on the shoot or what we're trying to do. Like what style we're trying to do, or what the theme of the video is, and that's kind of how we find our models. But yeah,
Yeah, because models change from depending on what style we have in mind. So like the maternity one we did, that was like we needed a pregnant model,
Yeah.
so it was who was available, you know. So stuff like that.
we didn't post that video though.
It's okay. They don't need
Sorry.
to know that.
Would you guys be interested in collaborating with other local photographers?
Yeah, definitely. That was the idea, right?
Yeah.
We were gonna bring in people from like our town or wherever, and you know, do challenges with us, and I love that.
Yeah, so I think that's actually part of the channel's plan. So basically the Photographer Diaries is all about documenting and creating. So what the channel is kind of about is it is a photography channel, it's a travel channel, and it's a channel about photographers and just kind of everything about photographers. So you'll see us eventually do on here gear reviews, you'll see a travel video, you'll see vlogs, but one of our main things that we want to do is like sit down with other photographers and kind of do this like one-on-one and kind of interview other photographers and see their processes and their inspirations and stuff like that. And then as well, like collab on shoots and stuff. So that's in the works and we're working on that. So that was a great question.
And the last question, how do you guys feel you did on this questionnaire, and it doesn't deserve a high five?
Deserve? Wait, did you say do you deserve a high five? That's what you said, huh? Oh, it was deserve a high five.
Where's me?
You're not even on camera.
Whatever.
Alright.
How do you feel this interview went? Nope, let me start over. How do you feel this questionnaire went? And does it deserve a high five?
I think so.
That's your answer.
I think so. I think we did okay.
Yeah, I think we did good. I think we should turn this into a podcast.
Outro.
Talking Tuesday, where we just sit here and talk. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if anyone would be interested. Talking Tuesday.
Talking Tuesday. We're gonna sit, we're gonna talk, we're gonna eat tacos.
That sounds bomb.
We're gonna talk about the tacos and photography. That's actually, dude, we need to write that down. That's a good one. Don't steal us from us, Peter McKinnon. Don't steal it, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is different from our typical videos, but we definitely wanted to put this out there. We appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next one. We're working on some cool videos in the future. And remember, guys, create, inspire, and document. Peace.
Got
I
it.
got it! Oh, first time. You know, that time I was like...